What's up, guys? Good start. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another what's it called deck profile. I lost the string there for a second. Today we're back with another deck profile, of course, and it's one of my favorite archetypes this time, and that is Noble Knights. This archetype is based on King Arthur and the knights around the table, or the knights of the round table. So let's begin. We are starting up, as always, removing the extra deck and taking the deck first. So for this deck profile, I'm using two copies of Noble Knight Artoricus. This artwork is based on King Arthur, that is, pulling the sword out of the stone. Then I'm using two copies of Noble Knight Bedivere. This is a knight which was one of Arthur's very, what's it called, one of his most loyal knights, which also cast the Excalibur sword back into the lady in the lake, because that was what Arthur told him, so the sword wouldn't be in the evil hands or be lost to the evil hands. Then I'm using two copies of Noble Knight Custodin, and yeah. Oh, I already forgot. Noble Knight Bedivere's effect is when this card is summoned to the field. I think. Yeah. When this card is normal or special summon, I can choose one Noble Arms equipped spell from my deck and cast it into the graveyard. And Noble Knight Custodin's effect is when I control a focus, please. If I control a Noble Arms equipped spell, I can special summon this card from my hand. And Noble Knight monster XYZ, Synchro, or Link summoned will have the effect that when the card is summoned, I can also one noble land monster during my main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon. Which means that you can perform two normal summons. Then I'm using two copies of Merlin. I attribute this monster to special summon one Noble Knight monster from my deck. And I can remove this card from play to make a XYZ summon. Then I'm using two copies of the Noble Knight's form of hand traps, and that is two copies of Morgan, the Enchantress of Avalon. When a card or effect is activated that targets one Noble Knight monster, I can discard this card, plus destroy one equipped spell I control to negate and destroy that card. Then I'm using two copies of Guinevere, Queen of the Noble Arms, which is a monster you can equip to a Noble Knight monster you already control. And some of the artworks on this, guys, is just amazing, because this is the out here's the Excalibur sword, I think. I can't remember. And then we have Guinevere here, and that's the wife of King Arthur. I think in the way of Yu-Gi-Oh's version, I think it is. Then I'm using one copy of Noble Knight Ekta, which can be special summoned by removing from play two Noble Knights from your graveyard. Then I'm using two copies of Noble Knight Noble Knight Pelennor, and I can choose a Noble Arms equipped spell, equip it to this card and a card opponents control, and destroy both of them. Then I'm using one copy of Noble Knight Gawain, which can be special summoned when I control a light normal monster. Then I can special summon this card from my hand. And not every Noble Knight, but the most of them have some effects with you can special summon them if you control ish. Yeah. Then I'm using two copies of Noble Knight Ivan, which can, when she got a equip spell equipped to her, I think it's just an equip spell. I'm not sure. Then I'm allowed to create a Noble Knight token, level 4, with 2000 attack, 2000 defense. I think I can't remember what does the effect say. I get blah blah blah. 1000 and 1000. I was not even close. Then I'm using 2 copies of Ignoble Knight of Black Lancelin, which is based on Lancelot. I think it's the name, who betrayed King Arthur, and yeah, I can't remember the whole story. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Knight Boars, which when he's treated like a normal monster when he's just normal summon, but when he gets a Noble Arms card equipped to him, then he becomes level 5 and Dark type. He is light attribute up here, and then I can pick a. Then I can choose 3 Noble Arms equipped spells from my deck, reveal them, and then my opponent randomly chooses 1 equipped spell from my hand. The other 2 goes to the graveyard. Then I'm using 1 copy of Noble Knight Guel'Shavat, which is also a pretty good looking artwork. And the most of the cards in this is in something called gold rare, and not the type of gold rare that is in maximum gold, because no, not gold rare, platinum rare. I think it's called. Yeah, or is it? Yeah, I think it's platinum rare. I know I have a Dark Rebellion Exquisite Dragon in platinum, but I call it platinum secret rare, and then just this platinum rare. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Knight Drustan because, well, he is one good looking card and also have a good effect. Because when this card gets a Noble Arms card equipped to him, I can destroy 1 monster on the field. And that's a good effect. Then I'm using 3 copies of Noble Knight Brothers. When this card is normal summoned, I can special summon up to 2 Noble Knight monsters from my hand. And this card is only allowed to attack when I control exactly 3 Noble Knight monsters. So him plus 2 more. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Knight Peridor. And he got the same effect, equipped spell to him, level 5, dark type. That. Or is it? I can't remember. Yep, okay. And then I can choose a Noble Arms equipped spell and return to my hand, I think. I didn't read it. Then I'm using 2 copies of the Tuna Monster, Lady of the Lake. Which, yeah, she's just a good artwork because, well, I think when she's normal summoned or just summoned to the field, I can choose a level 4 Noble Knight monster and special summon. I can't read the effect from here, and I don't read the effect. Blah blah blah. When this card is normal summon, you summon one. Okay, normal monster, my graveyard and special summon it. So that's just a cool card. Then I'm using 1 copy of Noble Knight Joan. And, well, I'm just using 1 copy of her because she is a Noble Knight, and her effect, I will say, it's not the best effect. Just like in my Kribo deck profile, there are cards that is, okay cards. Just to be there. And for the last Noble Knight monsters, I'm using 2 copies of. I just dropped some of my cards. Frick. No. Okay. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Knight Midraut. And when this card is getting a Noble Arms equipped to him, his level is increased by 1 and he becomes dark. And then I can also, once per turn, if I control no other monsters, I can special summon 1 Noble Knight monster from my deck in defense position, except this card, and then destroy. Focus, please. It will not focus. Then I destroy 1 equipped spell I control. I feel like this deck profile is not taking that much time, not like the other one, but like the other one, well, guys, I was talking a lot about their effects. Then for the non-Noble Knight monsters, I'm using 1 copy of Amazon Swordswoman and 1 DD Warrior Lady. And these cards are just perfect into this, because Amazon Swordswoman have the effect that any battle damage involving this card, my opponent will lose the life points instead. And then TD Warrior Lady, when this card is sent to the graveyard, I remove from play this card and the monster that destroyed this card. And I don't think anybody takes battle damage. No. You will still lose life points if it's in attack position. Then I'm using one copy of Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. And that is just one of the best looking cards. I'm sorry, it's just only in common. I just hit my camera there. Perfect. Yeah, but it have some sick effects. And the first one is that I can discard one card to choose a card, my opponent's or monster, and just remove it from play. Insane effect. And after this card have destroyed a monster, or the first effect, after that you can't attack. You're not allowed to attack that turn. But after this card destroys one monster your opponent controls, it is allowed to attack one again, again in a row. And for the last monster, I'm using one copy of Ghost, Augur, and Snow Rabbit. And just a hand trap. Why not? Moving on to the spells, I'm using two copies of Noble Knights of the Round Table. And on this artwork, you can see every knight, or a lot of the knights on this. And it has different effects. Focus. It has different effects out from. Okay, stop blurring. It has it have different effects out from the number of Noble Knight cards I control and have in my graveyard. For example, with 3 or more, I send a Noble Knight card from my deck to the graveyard. 6+, special summon Noble Knight monster from my hand. Then I can equip one Noble Arms equip spell to that monster from my hand as well. 9+, I target one Noble Knight monster in my graveyard, add the target to my hand. And 12. Yeah, just 12. I draw one card. It has a lot of good effects. I will not complain about that. And now I'm taking a lot of cards, and that is the Noble Arms. 2 copies of Noble Arms Clarent. Equip it to. I can only equip to warrior type monster. I can only control one Clarent. Once per turn, I can pay 500 life points. Then that monster is allowed to attack directly. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Arms of Destiny. Can only equip to a warrior type monster. Can only control one Arms of Destiny. And once per turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Not a bad effect. 2 copies of Noble Arms Skeleton. I can only equip to a warrior type monster. I will stop saying that after now. And of course, I can only control one. That is the effect of every Noble Arms. Also, I think it's with Gwynethar, which also counts as a Noble Arms. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But this card gives 1,000 extra attack points to the equipped monster. But every standby phase of my turns, that equipped monster will lose 200 attack points. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Arms Caliburn. Once per turn, I get 500 life points, and this equipped card gives 500 extra attack points to the equipped monster. But once per turn, I gain 500 life points. Not bad. Then I'm using 2 copies of Noble Arms Affidatur, which I can remove permanently 500 attack points from the equipped monster. Then I can destroy one set card on the field. And the last Noble Arms equipped spell is Noble Arms Excalibur. And I'm only running 1 copy of this card in because, well, it is too expensive to run more than 1. Other people will maybe run 3 of every because they have built their deck different, but a little bit different. But I don't care. Once this card allows nothing to this card, it protects the equipped monster from being targeted by card effects or destroyed by card effects. Then I'm using 1 copy of Glory of the Noble Knights. When this card is activated, activate 1 Noble Arms from your deck to a monster. Not bad. Then I'm for the last Noble Knight spell card. That is last chapter of the Noble Knights. And on this artwork you can see Noble Knight Bedivere returning the Noble Arms Excalibur to the Lady in the Lake. And you can also down here, if you can see some red, that is the evilness from the Noble Knight or the Ignoble Knight Lancelin. And for the last spell card, we have Twin Twisters. Discard one card, destroy up to 2 spell cards on the field. Spell traps cards, I'm sorry. Then for my traps, I'm running 1 copy of Avalon and 1 copy of Until Noble Arms I need once again. And Avalon is just, well, clear everything card. Because I can remove from play 5 Noble Knight monsters, including 1 Artorigus and 1 Lancelin, to destroy everything on the fields. And for the last 3 traps, I'm running 1 copy of Bye-Bye Damage. When I take battle damage, my opponent takes the same damage but doubled. Then 1 Armor Recall, add an equip spell to my hand, then I can equip it to approach age monster. And of course, you guys know me, another Infinite Impermanence. Of course. Now we are running out to the extra deck. And for the extra deck monsters, I'm using 3 copies of Artorigus, King of the Noble Knights. And not every Noble Knight, but a couple of them have upgraded forms. This is the upgraded form of Noble Knight Artorigus. And the funny story is, it have 1 more upgrade. But once per turn, I can detach an overlay unit, destroy 1 spell trap card on the field. And when this card is summoned, every Noble Knight extra deck monsters have this effect. When this card is summoned, you can target up to 3 Noble Arms in your graveyard and equip to this monster. Then I'm using 2 copies of the upgrade form of this monster, and that is Sacred Noble Knight King Artorigus. Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorigus, which have the same effect. Choose 3 or up to 3 equip spells and equip to them. But this monster destroys monsters instead. Once per turn, remove 1 overlay unit to destroy 1 monster in the field. Then I'm using for the last, or not last XYZ monster, but the last Noble Knight monster. That is Sacred Noble Knight of King Custennin. He is better in defense, I will say. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Noble Knight XYZ monster from your graveyard, and then not from my graveyard, from my extra deck, and then use this as an overlay unit. That's also a strong way to get out your other stronger Noble Knights. Then I have 2 copies of Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knight. Not bad, I will say. And for the last Noble Knight card, but not the last card in the extra deck, I'm using not that. 2 copies of Ignoble Knight of High Lancelin, which is of course the upgrade form of Ignoble Knight of Lancelin. Ignoble Knight Lancelin. And for the last card, I'm using 1 copy of number 104 Masquerade. So yeah, guys, that was everything for my Noble Knight deck profile. What do you guys think about? Is there something I should take out and put something in? And before I leave, I have something to say. Will you guys out there, like, if I made, trivia videos where I speak about the archetypes, for example, the Noble Knight archetypes, the backstory of them, and just like every other archetype, the Dragon Maid archetype, what they are based off, the Cyber Dragon archetype, and yeah, just like that, the Fluffle archetype, the Crystal Beast archetype, just like another YouTube channel on YouTube have made. Will you guys like to see that? So like my videos and watch my videos, because then I will maybe talk about it. But yeah, guys, that was everything for this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with friends, family, and everything, because I still have my goals to get 1,000 subscribers. So, yeah, guys, there's nothing else to say. We'll see each other in the next video. Peace out.